Imagine you're a smart, motivated, low-income student. You've probably never heard of the top colleges that you're qualified for. You probably don't know what financial aid is or how to get it. You can't ask your parents for help because you're probably the first one in your family who's ever gone to college. You probably have never been taught how to write a personal statement. You probably don't even know what that is, because there's only one guidance counselor for 400 kids in your school. And you can't afford test prep classes for the SAT. If you do get into college somehow, it might feel like you've landed on another planet. Your roommate shows up with family and fancy luggage, and you probably arrive alone with just a single suitcase because your parents can't afford to take off of work and be there with you. You don't know what office hours are, so you can't get extra help. You're totally lost in this unfamiliar world, and maybe you drop out. You're in a tizzy. But if you don't, and you get past all of these obstacles, and you manage to make it through, then you start thinking about your first job. Which means you have to get the right internship. But you don't know how to write a resume because you've never seen one in your home. And you don't know professional etiquette. You don't know how to interview. You don't know how to dress. And you've probably never even been in an office building before. You know, there's this belief in America that everybody, no matter what their background is, can succeed and rise to the top if only they work hard enough. But in reality, the numbers tell a different story for kids near the bottom of the income scale. For every 100 students from low-income families who start college, fewer than 8 actually graduate and find decent jobs. Imagine what it must be like going to school in New York City, or any big city for that matter. In New York, kids don't have to go to their local neighborhood school. They can apply to any school in the city, right? The one that fits their needs the best. So you have kids who are attending school 4 years in a neighborhood that they're totally unfamiliar with, right? Many of them having to commute 60 minutes or more each way by subway every day. Imagine the noise when you're trying to study, right? Outside, construction, and the traffic, the crime, and the sirens just going on every day constantly. Well, that's the experience for most of the kids who attend the school where I work in the city. Mostly kids from Chinese immigrant families. But it's not all bleak. Some people manage to take the challenges that they're confronted with and turn them around and use them for good, right? To help others. Tonight, I want to tell you about 2 people who have redefined the definition of success. One is an adult who helps kids like I just mentioned, and the other is a young girl who, with the help of the first, managed to overcome her own serious obstacles on her path towards success. Jessica Pliskin founded the Opportunity Network in 2003 to help disadvantaged students get into college and prepare for a meaningful career. She assembled a group of professionals who would come into New York City schools and speak and mentor the kids about college and careers. The second person is Hong Deng Gao, a former student at Baruch High School, where I work. Jessica worked with Hong Deng, helping her overcome her obstacles and get her into and through college. Hong Deng was honored for her achievement at a recent awards ceremony. I want to read to you the brief speech Hong Deng gave at this event. My dad came to the U.S. from China when I was 7. He arrived here and knew no one. He took a job washing dishes. My mother and I came here 7 years later, speaking no English. My mother's first job was making Chinese dough for dumplings in a basement in Chinatown, sitting in a room with bad air for 12 hours a day with few breaks in between. At home, I escaped into homework whenever my parents fought, or I used extracurricular activities to stay away from home. I had no idea how to apply to college. My family had no networks, but the Opportunity Network introduced me to Pomona College. 3 years after having arrived in the U.S., I was on my way there. I'm proud to tell you I will graduate Phi Beta Kappa this May. 2 years ago, my mother died from a liver disease. Knowing no English, my mother couldn't read hospital signs or comprehend the doctors. She often missed appointments and sometimes took the wrong medicine. At Bellevue Hospital, I looked into the panic-stricken eyes of others bewildered by the signs and forms, and it planted a seed in my head. Over the past 2 years, I developed Health Bridges, which trains bilingual college volunteers to help people like my mother navigate the hospital system. And I just won a grant to make Health Bridges a reality. Amazing, I think. But there are thousands of kids just like Hong Deng who will never make it because they don't have a Jessica in their life to help them. So to conclude, I'd just like to say we have a lot of seasoned, talented people here in Toastmasters. And if you want to do something truly fulfilling, try volunteering and help some of these kids. It's a great investment in all of our future, and it just might redefine your definition of success.